it's the new banner for the channel. So I put it together. There's a lot of inside joke references here. Mostly it was just putting all of my favorite characters in here from our playthroughs and stuff. I couldn't fit everybody in, obviously, because I'm working with limited space here, but I didn't want to change the banner too much because I love my Chrono Trigger campfire scene. So what I did was just take the campfire scene and put all kinds of characters hanging out there rather than just the Chrono team, right? So let's start with, obviously, the mascot for the channel. A lot of people liked him when he first happened because of one of our playthroughs. It's McLee Snuck, the one and only little black mage on the car. So there's that. He had to be included, obviously, because he is literally this channel's mascot. Beyond that, as you can see, the fire actually has my 2 on fire logo that is the channel logo in the fire, which is pretty cool. I mean, it's still, you know, gives off like this is the channel, right? And everybody's hanging out around it, right? Because it's a campfire. So we've got pretty much most of my favorite characters from these video games, right? So we've got Rydia and Terra. They had to be included. I used some Final Fantasy Brave Exvius sprites because they're really cool. Like, those sprites are awesome. We've got Luca just chilling and sleeping. None of this surprises her. She's Luca. She doesn't... like, the fact that all these people just appeared here, like, she's not even kind of surprised about it, especially considering this part of the woods. We've got Agrias hanging out, of course, another Brave Exvius sprite. There are a couple of lines, because that's actually a chanting sprite of hers. So I couldn't figure out a way to completely remove those, sadly enough, but she looks fine. Shala's over here. It's freaking perfect that she's hanging out with Terra. I'm sure they would have a lot in common. Ryu, of course, from Breath of Fire 2, the homage to my BOF2, now 6th place worldwide any percent speedrun record. And now the rest of them are a little bit obscure, right? So unless you watch the channel a lot, you might not know what this means. So my favorite over here is Gar eyeballing the Egg Gang, okay? So when we played through BOF3, the pseudo-randomizer, for some reason, Gar critical hit the Egg Gang more than any other enemy in the game. So we decided that Gar has a problem with eggs, dude. Like, he hates breakfast, he hates eggs. So the fact that the Egg Gang's trying to sneak up on everybody, and Gar is just like, I see you over there, motherfuckers. I will crit the shit out of you. Yeah, you know, friggin' awesome. Also, another part of the BOF3 pseudo-randomizer, Emmanuel is up in the tree there, our man-o'-war that we caught and dragged across the desert just to throw in the face of God. He was the true hero, he was the chosen one. Yes, yeah, so we had to have Emmanuel in there. Down in the bottom right corner, obviously we have the red gate, because we're in that part of the woods. And that can explain why everyone has shown up here. You know, they all came through the red gate, right? So there's a little bit of a storyline there. And they were all pulled from certain times in the playthroughs, you know? So we have Freed down there. The reason that he is asleep is because in our pseudo-randomizer of Suikoden 2, he got a waking rune, and he started every battle asleep, and we kind of ran with the joke that he was narcoleptic, which was really fun. And of course, we have Vicky shazamming Rio back to Radit Town 1,000 times, because that was what she did. We have a whole episode where we were trying to get into the secret room at Radit Town by teleporting there with Vicky, and she has to fail for us to get into that room, but she kept shazamming us. She always did it right, and we never got in there, so that was like an hour or 2 of just being shazammed. So yeah, that was such a funny moment that I had to include it in this banner. Also, up in the top right corner, I had to include Nanami. I love Nanami. She's one of my favorite characters in Suikoden history, and she knows what it's like to kind of be dead, you know? So she is praying in front of the gravestone of Swole, who was a main character during the Great Imp Harvest of 21, and later, unfortunately, randomized in our Final Fantasy VI Beyond Chaos run into Leo's spot. Therefore, he died. He is gone forever, sadly enough. That is one character that just will never return. In fact, what I have decided with Beyond Chaos runs is that if any one mortal that is from a previous playthrough or whatever ends up in General Leo's spot, I am going to remove that sprite from the randomized list. So you will never see another... well, I won't say you'll never see another seed with Swole in it. If we do something that's non-canonical to the Beyond Chaos story, which it's back and forth anyway. He might be included in a future themed seed one day, but as far as the storyline goes, Swole is dead, and that is why he is a gravestone that Nanami is praying in front of. And, of course, Granny is probably the most popular character in Final Fantasy VI Beyond Chaos. I love her. She is so much fun to voice, and the fact that she's just making that face... like, it's just so Granny, and she's making that face because it looks like McLeese Snuck is planning to run her over. So that's why she's here. She's Granny, and every whippersnapper in the world should respect her. And in the top left corner, our buddy, our pal, my best friend forever, as you can tell on the hat, Doomgaze, is here at the party. He's literally flying above the tree, getting ready to pounce on us, and then he'll piss off because he's an asshole and come back later. So there you have it. That is the new banner for the channel. I may change this as things go on, right? This will always be the template for our channel banner, but as things go on, I will probably add or remove things based on new experiences we have and whether or not characters deserve to be part of the banner, you know? So that being said, thanks you guys for hanging out with me, as always, chilling, watching me play some games, and who knows, in the future, with playthroughs that I do, if characters prove themselves worthy of being on this banner, you will have been a part of seeing the origin story of why they're included. But either way, thanks you guys. I hope you like it. And I will be getting back with you here real soon talking about the next thing we have planned. But until then, I'll see you next time. Peace.